3, 2, 1. Okay. Welcome all to the Black Column Podcast. I am your host, Jabia, aka the Crew Philosopher.
And I'm Shannon, aka your favorite blurred.
Yes, and we are here again for another weekly news show of the podcast. Shannon, how are you, my friend?
I'm okay.
Yeah, Shannon's doing okay. She's persevering. So we're gonna say on that. She's persevering. I would like to apologize to the podcast audience for getting the show late. It's still coming out today on Friday, but it's gonna be later than expected. I was not in the mood to record yesterday. Saying I was in the mood is the wrong word because it makes it sound like I have to be in a perfect mood to do a show. It's not true. But I don't know. I wasn't feeling well, like mentally. I was like agitated. I was just kind of going through like a funk. And as someone who has produced a podcast before, before me and Shannon decided to do the show together, I know what it's like to do the show and have somebody who's hosting with you not wanting to be there or not in the best mood and an awful faker. And I'm an awful faker. So if we did the show yesterday, Shannon would have been dragging my ass for an hour. And I didn't want that to happen. So I asked her if we can move it. She said, sure. And so just want you to know that the reason why it's late is on my end, not Shannon. So I apologize. Did anything happen during the week, Shannon, that you feel compelled to talk about?
Yes. Black people are getting superpowers on December 21st. That's
where's that coming from?
I have no clue. So I think it started because like someone was talking about the eclipse, which is supposed to happen, and then like one person commented and said that the eclipse is gonna wake up latent abilities that Black people have had that we all thought were fiction. It's all gonna it all started from one person just saying that, and then like everyone took that and ran with it. So
this sounds like the white man is playing a trick on us. He's because a couple of y'all are gonna believe it and do some stupid shit like jump off a building or try to fight crime for a night and get out your little Marvel dreams. Don't do it. You will not have superpowers. Trust me. You are vulnerable on December 20th. You're going to be vulnerable on December 21st, and you're going to be vulnerable on December 22nd. Don't believe this lie that says we're going to get superpowers. You are not going to get superpowers.
I mean, I don't believe we're going to get,
No, shit, don't even say I don't believe. It's not going to happen. This is not a matter of belief. It is not going to happen. It is literally impossible. Shannon froze temporarily. It is literally impossible. Oh, you're back. It is literally impossible for you to develop superpowers for a day. Now,
how do you know that? No. They're not saying for a.
Okay, so what are they saying? Hello?
Cause dormant abilities in African Americans.
So they're saying that we have dormant abilities already, and this event is supposed to awaken them.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon, this is asinine. Y'all can believe Shannon if you want to. I'm telling you, I'm looking out for y'all. Go listen to Shannon if you want to.
I'm not over here telling anybody that it's true. I'm just saying that that's what the person said.
Yeah, but you sound like you have like 5% hope. There's no hope.
No, I do.
There's no hope. Listen, mess around and think this is an X-Men movie you want to. There's gonna be hospitals filled with bodies on December 22nd. You do not have any power. You're not getting any powers. All right, stop it.
Don't if you are trying to test out if you have powers. Don't do something stupid like off the roof. Just try to do small, like move something with your mind. Safe.
But what if that's not your power?
That's true. Then I guess just wait until your point is where your power would show themselves.
There's a separate conversation to be had about what is a reasonable thing to do to check if you have powers, because for example, we all think of the simple like move stuff with your mind, but that is a specific power. Some powers you can't really check out unless you go all the way, like flying, right? You can't really fly off the floor. right?
I
And all
mean,
the, and all the
kind of
movies,
you can.
not the movies, because the movies say that unless you have to force yourself to be in a situation where you have to use your powers to unlock them,
Oh, that's true.
right? So like, as long as you have the ground for safety, you ain't never really gonna fly. So the only way to see if you can fly would be to like jump off the bridge, the Washington. Now, I'm not saying you should do it. This whole thing is ridiculous. I'm just saying, in a world where powers were real and people actually could manifest things, the only way you would manifest anything would be to put yourself in a life or death situation.
I agree. Don't do
Yes.
that though.
Don't. Yeah, no powers are coming December 21st. As far as what I've been doing during the week, yesterday I watched X-Men on Netflix. It was beautiful. What?
Did I freeze?
Yeah, what happened?
Which X-Men?
It's not Evolution. It's it's the one where it's right after Jean Grey blows herself up as the Phoenix.
Which one comes out? I don't remember. I don't know. There's so many different ones.
Yeah, but it's on Netflix, and I watched it. It's only one season. It was really good to watch. I forgot how much I enjoy watching X-Men. Yeah, they never did that franchise right when it came to making it like turning it into movies. I don't feel like they could have easily done a much better job with that franchise part of Marvel. I don't know why they suck at it so much, but yeah, let's go watch.
That's good.
Good watch. All right, now some news time, people. Some news time, and we are starting where else with the coronavirus. So the coronavirus continues to ravage American cities, American states, and we now have a light at the end of the tunnel: the vaccine. And these past couple of days, there has been vaccine distribution. There has been a vaccine promotion. There has been vaccine myth fact checking. There has been a bunch of stuff to do with the vaccine because right now the main goal is to vaccinate the most vulnerable Americans, number one. Two, to combat vaccine skepticism so that once the vaccine becomes available to larger groups of people, they will be willing and open to taking the vaccine like other Americans. And I gotta say, up until what we're about to talk about, it's been a pretty successful run. I mean, you had the first Black woman get the vaccine vaccinated in New York City, which is also incredible. You've had Mike Pence got the vaccine. Nancy Pelosi got the vaccine as well. So it seems everyone is doing what they need to do to build public confidence, because you can't be telling people to do something that you yourself don't do. Now, there is the complication of we have to take it on faith that these people are actually getting vaccinated, and it's not just sugar water being injected into their arms. But look, I think they are telling the truth. Okay, and we've already hashed out our thoughts on the vaccine and whether we would get vaccinated, the risk involved, yada yada yada. But today, it has come to my attention, and I've already played this video for Shannon. But there was a video going around on Twitter. You guys know I stay on the Twitter streets. That showed I think she was an ICU nurse, no, a critical care nurse at Shai Memorial. She was also getting vaccinated on live television, to help build confidence in people getting the vaccine. And then she passed out. Fainted.
Yes. Doesn't help because of people who are about the vaccine, but I don't really attribute her fainting because, people faint from getting vaccines all the time. I feel like that's normal. Not normal, but I feel like it's common enough. So I know that it's not because of the coronavirus vaccine. It might just be because it's a vaccine in general. But yes, since it happened on live TV, I don't think that this helps their case.
And that's my only point with this. The reason why I want to start the show with this story is because I don't believe that she passed out because of the vaccine. Number one, if there is any type of vaccine effect, right? The only scenario in which you would see immediately results like that would be if there was an allergic reaction, trust me, if she had an allergic reaction, it would have looked way worse than what happened on that screen. So it wasn't that. And so then you have to just assume, okay, well, this is happening for another reason. And so, no, I don't think she fainted because of the vaccine. But the reason why I wanted to discuss this with Shannon is because if you are trying to build public confidence, where there is mass skepticism about whether or not I should get vaccinated, this nurse does an interview later on after she passes out, which I will put into the podcast post edit. And when you hear her speaking, once she comes to again, she claims that this is normal for her.
Yeah.
That she has a condition where this happens to her at the slightest hint of pain.
Yep. Which is very unfortunate.
It is. Speaking of low pain tolerance, it is. But Shannon, if you were the I don't know, who's the person at the hospital that decides all of this stuff? Like the chief, the hospital chief?
Like who decides that they're going to get vaccinated?
No, somebody made the call to have this woman be vaccinated on live television.
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody from the hospital signed off on this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't just go in front of cameras and stuff without the consent of somebody
of course.
Hospital. So whoever that person was, how did you not know that this woman who has a history of fainting at the slightest hint of... Go ahead.
It's not only the person that signed off on it. Why would she agree to do that if she knows that she has...
Well, Shannon, people are irrational when they can be a hero. So people have these weird hero fantasies where they believe that they're playing their part in doing certain things, right? She's going down in the history books as one of the first people that got the vaccine. So people do it for all sorts of reasons. But whoever the person was that signed off on this, how do you not know that this was probably the worst possible person to get this vaccine on television?
No, there's blame to be had on both sides too. Because forget about your hero complex. If you knew you were going to pass out after getting, the vaccine, why would you go on camera?
Well, maybe she didn't know.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Maybe she's passed out after getting vaccines before. I'm gonna assume, because if she's treating it like it's normal, then I would assume that it's happened to her before. So I just don't know. But maybe not. But I just don't know. Yeah,
she said that it was normal for her to have this reaction to pain. She didn't say that this happens when she gets vaccinated, and so maybe the vaccine process was more painful than she believed, and then I don't see nobody signing up to pass out on TV. Personally, I don't see it. But so she probably wasn't in the best space to make this decision. But anybody from the hospital would have flagged this and said, yeah, you shouldn't do this. Sorry. Not anybody but you. Literally anybody but you. We'd rather send a janitor to get this vaccine shot than you. So yeah.
So,
you're freezing a lot, Shannon.
I am.
Yeah, you're like, but it could be my internet. It says your internet connection is unstable. That's fine though. I can hear you. That's all that matters.
Let me see. It says that mine is
stable. Yeah, it could be mine. It's saying it's my internet, but you're not to do about it. As long as I can hear you, that is good for me. But yeah, so horrible PR. It's already making the rounds on social media as a clip being sliced and cut to convince people to not get the vaccine. And yeah, this was just a huge F up because it's going to blow up in these weird corners of the internet.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so anyone who was already gonna get the vaccine, I don't think it's gonna sway their opinion too much, but anyone who was skeptical about it, it might. So that's probably gonna hurt some efforts there.
Yeah. But getting vaccinated, people, it is probably not coming nearly as fast as we thought. There's been multiple reports about the difficulties of distribution. it is even more difficult than they thought, knowing it was going to be difficult. So there's been multiple states that they had initial projections of how many people they would be able to vaccinate, and their numbers have been kind of cut significantly as the reports are coming out now that's saying that, yeah, we have less, of the vaccine to give than we initially thought. So that's causing all types of problems. Like everything in this country, Shannon, we are going to fuck this up like we fucked everything else up. Kind of what we do.
I agree.
So that's not shocking. And speaking of F-ups, the COVID relief bill that Congress is discussing is also in danger of being effed up because these people just can't even try to care about us, Shannon. I understand not caring, but the fact that they can't even pretend to care. Just fake it. They can't fake it. They can't fake it.
But I thought, aren't they on loom of a shutdown though if they don't pass one? Or did I just make that up in my mind?
No, they are in loom of a shutdown if they don't pass a deal. But here's the thing. So it says that as of Thursday evening, Republicans and Democrats were still sparring over tens of billions of dollars in government spending. Disagreements remain over who is eligible for stimulus checks, how to spend money for healthcare, disaster relief funds, and winding down the Federal Reserve's emergency lending program. So basically, I'm trying to skim. And so basically, yeah, they are at a bypass and they need to pass this. They're already saying that they probably have to work through the weekend and not suspend as initially planned. But I don't understand why this is such a hard thing for them to get done.
Because you have people on one side who, I mean, I don't even know. It's the greed really, and selfishness of them not wanting to give us the main care that we deserve, while other countries are, giving their citizens $2,000 a month. But so far, we've only gotten $1,200. They're trying to. So greedy. The government is run by selfish and greedy individuals.
So I'm going to just read some details here. It says the coronavirus package will include a new round of roughly $600 stimulus checks, which is literally half of what was given the first time. Beefed up unemployment benefits of $300 a week, significantly less than last time.
Significantly less than last time.
Yeah, about $325 billion for small businesses and money for transportation, vaccine distribution, and schools, according to lawmakers and aides. Leaders are hopeful it will be married with the omnibus spending bill funding the government through September, and have held off on releasing the text as they continue to haggle over coronavirus provisions. Republicans are currently pushing back against several key Democratic requests in the rescue package. Schumer and Pelosi are asking for as much as $30 billion for governors to spend on healthcare related concerns, which they say will help with the vaccine distribution, while Republicans are terming that an unnecessary slush fund. Democrats are also pressing for as much as $17 billion to entertainment venues for more money. $17 billion to entertainment venues and for more money for public transportation. And see, this is where I get very frustrated, because on the one hand, I think it is ridiculous that. Okay, so I'm with Shannon. I'm with Shannon largely regarding. I think Republicans are the main stopgap in getting Americans the funding that they need to get through this pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. That said, why are Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer trying to give money to entertainment venues?
Yeah, I don't know. No, maybe because they.
Oh, Shannon.
I mean, they need to try to stay open too.
Okay, I agree.
If there's
with
no
you.
entertainment venues, then a lot of things are not going to be around when we finally get back on our feet. Concerts, things like that,
True.
non-existent without entertainment venues.
No, I agree, but there's priorities.
Yeah, I agree.
Your first priority should be, like Andrew Yang has been saying, and he's been tweeting the hell out of this on Twitter for weeks, getting money into the hands of Americans. Mm-hmm. Priority number one, if you are going to make it difficult for me to be employed, then you have an obligation to finance my unemployment. It's very simple. This is not left, right, Democrat or Republican. We are in a very unusual time. If you are going to prevent people from working, keep them from their jobs, the unemployment numbers are going up, you have an obligation to pay people who you are preventing from working. To me, I don't understand how you could be against that, whether you are on the left or the right. They literally can't work because you're preventing them from working. This isn't the case of people being lazy. This isn't the case of people not wanting to work. You are literally saying they cannot work. So you have an obligation to finance them until you will allow them to work again. It's very simple.
It is very simple, but it's not, clearly, because how many bills have been turned down over how many months? This has been going on for a ridiculous amount of time. And I'm starting to, I mean, I've been new, but like all these other countries are laughing at America. I understand them, because we're like a joke right now. Like we're just like a huge joke. It's kind of crazy.
We are a joke on epic proportions, because I keep telling y'all, things are not just bad. Things are when Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, people don't remember that part of the story. The hurricane did damage, but that's not what actually destroyed New Orleans. It was the dam breaking that destroyed New Orleans. That's what's happening to us right now. See, the coronavirus is Katrina, but the awful infrastructure, the fact that we have been living in a house of cards for 10 and 20 years, those are the dams that are going to break. And the big dam that's breaking is going to be once the new year hits and these evictions pick up. I keep telling y'all, you are going to see a wave of evictions that take place once the new year comes around. Between January and February, unless there's some new executive order, I'm guessing it is going to get really bad. And Trump, he's kind of just
Trump's checked out completely.
Yeah. And so what I think is going to happen is Biden is probably going to implement some executive order to prevent evictions, but that gap of time between then, from like January 1st up until when is Biden sworn in?
The 20th or the 21st of January.
So those 2 to 3 weeks, it is going to be a carnage that takes place. And these congressmen don't care. And once again, see, Shannon views this more of a left-right thing than I do. I think in this specific case, it is more Republicans that are holding things up. But generally speaking, the many problems in our society, I don't view through the lens of left-right, because many of these places that have been allowed to decay so badly are also left-wing Democratic cities. New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago. You just saw the video of the police that ran to that woman's apartment. She was naked in Chicago, right? These are left-wing places. And so I don't view this as left versus right. To me, this is the people in power, people who don't really care about the lives of their citizens. And once again, you can't fake that. You cannot manufacture empathy when you are so far removed from the life of the average American. And so even left-wing politicians are removed from the lives of the average American. And that's why they don't have the the same urgency to get certain things done. They don't have the fire that's needed to fight for certain things, and they can just sign off and do, you know what? Fine, we'll go from $1,200 to a $600 check. We'll go from was it $600 a week unemployment or whatever it was, down to $300 in unemployment a week.
It's so baffling to me because what is anyone gonna do with $600? What? Like, you're right. It's just really crazy. It is really crazy. But yes, I agree with you that people are so far removed that they don't understand what's going on.
I don't even think you can buy a PS5 after taxes.
No.
You can't even buy a PS5 after taxes. And that is literally going to do nothing really. Now, it'll do something, right? Like, people keep saying that something is better than nothing. But to me, no duh. But that's not a good, judging point.
But then again, like, it's not really even surprising because a one-time payment of $1,200 does nothing in the long run when the pandemic has been ongoing for 9 months. So I don't.
Most people are in the hole.
Yeah.
Like once again, okay, this is not going to be back pay. So it's not like in the bill it's going to be okay. Well, we're going to give you the money, the $300 benefits. We're going to give you that in back pay. So all after we ended the first round of stimulus unemployment, we're going to give you $300 for every week up until today, and then moving forward. They're not doing that.
Nope.
So people are operating from the red. They have blown through their savings. They have blown through their checking accounts. Their credit cards are maxed out. And so all of this money is really just going into paying off those debts. And so they won't be able to buy food with it or pay bills because they're going to replenish the stock. I have to pay my credit cards off now. I have to do that, put this back into my savings. This is not actually going to help Americans. And it is shameful that we have found ourselves as one of the wealthiest countries in the world. We once again find ourselves back at square one where we aren't doing anything to help the average American citizen. Nothing. And both sides are continuously giving us their asses to kiss. And no one is calling it out. No one is speaking about this, in my opinion. This is my opinion. No one is speaking about this the way it needs to be discussed, because I keep saying, post this tragedy, there should be fire being rained down on these people. All of them. I'm telling you, there are only like 10 people that you could count that deserve to retain their status after this. Like, Bernie Sanders, AOC, Billy Bush. There are some Republicans that are actually pushing for the stimulus, making my argument that if the federal government is preventing you from working, then they have an obligation to financially support you. But yeah, 10 really, and there's some I'm forgetting right now. Other than those 10, everyone else needs to go. Everyone else, needs to go, because they have shown, Shannon, that they don't care that much about us while they get fat and happy. Remember, congressmen get very, very wealthy. Nancy Pelosi is a millionaire. We don't view her as that, but that's what she is. And she wasn't that before she got into Congress. There's a lot of money to be made when you become a congressperson, a Senate member. It's big business. And so these people are raking it in, making millions of dollars, and we're struggling, and they get to continuously be mediocre because we, the people, don't have the political will to really go after these people with the veracity that we need to, because they do a very good job at pitting us against each other. And so they slice the country in half, Democrat, Republican. Then, Shannon, they slice it in half again on both sides, progressive versus Democrat, and like Tea Party conservative versus Republican. And then they divide us again and have us bickering over ethnicity and race, and then they divide us again and have us bickering over gender issues. When really, we never get to talk about class, Shannon, and we never get to talk about economics. And those are the big issues that need to be discussed. And that's what, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. figured out. And that's why towards the end of his life, he has shifted to speak about economics significantly more than, the race issues or anything else. Shannon, are you back?
Are you back? I was on this. I'm not the one that got booted from the call. You got booted.
I know. That was me. I had to connect to my phone. I'm back now.
You need to get a Wi-Fi extender. Or you need to get a very long Ethernet cord and run it to your router.
I just need to get out of this department. But yes, I understand.
Temporary measures, though. That's the fastest thing you could do. I know. I apologize. And I was in a hell of a speech, by the way. I mean, I was on like a JFK. I was on a JFK roll, baby. They heard it. Does the recording stop if you get kicked off?
No, you don't see on the top. It says recording.
Oh, okay. I wasn't looking when you were actually gone. I was trying to text you, so I didn't see if it was there or not. Okay.
Yeah. But basically, I went on this epic speech where I was talking about how these people don't care about us because they're millionaires, and what they do is to keep their jobs. They manipulate us to fight each other and split us into these boxes. So first is the Republicans versus Democrat box, right? Split us in half. Then they split us again. Liberals versus Democrats. And far right versus conservatives, right? Mm-hmm. Then they split us again into race bubbles or ethnic bubbles, right? Black versus white, and then they split us into gender and have us focusing on these. But notice they never go near economics, which is the big thing. Most people's problems in this country could be solved by addressing economics, the way our economy works, being innovative. We still live in a society today, Shannon, where we're acting like it's still when was the Constitution? Was it 1776? That's when the Constitution was ratified. Mm-hmm. Or 8, whatever the date is. I'm gonna look this up because it's gonna bother me.
No, isn't it 17? No. Well, it was not 1776. I know this because I'm trying to pull up Hamilton dates in my head. Wasn't it 1789?
1787.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was close.
By the way, I'm going to delete the part where I was wrong and just keep in your part. Now.
I was off by only a couple of years. What do you mean?
Wait, so what was 1776?
1776.
The war?
Nothing really happened in 1776.
You sure? What happened in 17? I think you're missing the big thing.
Am I?
Shannon, that was the Declaration of Independence. Wow.
In 1776?
Yes.
Are you sure?
July 4th, 1776. That's why we celebrate the 4th of July.
Oh, wow. I did miss that. Never mind.
Shannon said it don't mean anything.
Whatever. That was my bad. Listen, okay? I don't pay attention to dates. It's so... How am I supposed to remember all these dates?
You should remember that one.
You know how far I've been removed from history in school?
So have I, but I remember 1776.
I knew, first of all, that date, I just don't remember what happened on that date. It was familiar to me. I just don't remember what happened. Sue me.
Fair enough.
I don't care.
But we still out here operating like it's 1787, right? Mm-hmm. It's not 1787. It is 2020 going into 2021. And this is also part of the problem having these old ass senators. And
yes, old white men and old white women are not the direction that this country needs to keep going in. We need some young, progressive people in office.
I'm not going to let you do that, Shannon. I'm not going to let you continue to put us in these boxes. I don't care that they're old because Bernie's an old white man.
Okay, he's one, but I'm just saying a cluster of old white men is not the direction that this country needs to go in. I'm going to stand by what I said.
Why not? Time out.
Because they don't have.
Hold on. If they were, I'm about to go there. If you had a bunch of old white men who all wanted to socialize healthcare,
mm-hmm. But we don't.
No, but if you did, my point is, it is
okay.
not
If we did, yes, but that's a hypothetical. We don't.
No, Shannon, I get that. My point is, it is not their oldness or their whiteness that's the problem. It's the fact that they have these old ideas.
Yes. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take the race out of it. These old, more traditional men do not need to be in office because they're not. A majority of them are not progressive and forward thinkers. Thank you.
But you're still making the same mistake.
No, I'm not.
Yes, because if they had progressive ideas, I don't
But
think
they
you would.
don't have progressive ideas.
No, I get that, but my point is, it is not this. Who they are doesn't matter. It's the ideas. I would vote for old white men till I die if they had new ideas over young black people who are in. I'm inventing this, right? If you had the option to choose between all white men who would give you progressive ideals and young black conservative, Shannon, who would you be voting for?
Okay, old, yes, obviously old white men. I'm not saying that I'm not going to vote for them because they're old, but I'm saying right now, the old white men that are in office do not have progressive, forward-thinking ideals. So that is why we don't need them in office anymore. If they did have them, then of course I would think differently. I'm not strictly going off their age. I'm going off of their ideals.
I agree. I just think sometimes we get caught up in the identities of people. This is how we ended up with the Barack Obama problem, where you can just give the illusion of change by changing the identity of somebody. Meanwhile, their policies are not that much different than other people.
It's not so much an identity thing for me. It's so much of a fact that the old white men that are in office do not have progressive, forward-thinking ideals, with the exception of one or two.
Yeah, I don't care about the shell of these people at all. Because Nancy Pelosi is a woman. I think she's awful. I think we need new ideas, fresh ideas. It is not 1787. It is not 1787. I'm gonna repeat. It is not 1787. It is 2020. We need 2020 ideas. Andrew Yang was made for this moment.
Yes.
He was made specifically for this exact moment.
A young, progressive, forward thinker. But yes, continue.
Yeah, even though he is a different wing of the progressiveness, because like you have like the woke progressive wing, and then you have like the economic progressive. He's an economic progressive. He's not a woke guy. In fact, he has some serious criticisms of the woke progressive movement. I'm more of a economics guy in general. So I'm not, you know me, I'm like a liberal libertarian almost. Mm-hmm. So like the woke stuff I don't really care too much about. And so Andrew Yang is a progressive, to your point, but he is a economic progressive, even further than I would say like the AOCs of the wing, who are more woke progressive. But have you been seeing the argument happening right now between people on the left about whether or not they should withhold their votes to support Nancy Pelosi as the Speaker of the House unless she takes up a vote for Medicare for all?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, another reason why you should go on Twitter. So there's this big art. Do you know who Jimmy Dore is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, and so he's an independent news person. He's a comedian, but he does a show, the Jimmy Dore Show, and he pretty much laid out a plan where progressive leaders in the House should refuse to support Nancy Pelosi's re-election as Speaker of the House unless she takes up a vote for Medicare for all. And there's been this big discussion taking place online on whether that's the right play, the wrong play. Is that just symbolic gesturing, or is it something that should be done? And it's been really interesting to see play out, because I don't call it left-wing infighting, because to me this is just the look, ideas have to be discussed, right? Like, and people who you agree with 80% of the time, you're probably going to have more internal discussions over the remaining 20, and it's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? For example, I believe that they should vote on it. I think having people's name on the books is not symbolic. That said, I understand the other side of it, which is if it's not going to pass, then maybe why vote on it? We could be doing the opposite, which We bring it to a vote. It doesn't pass, and then the centrist Democrats use this to push the narrative that, oh, well, you see, left wing policies don't make it past the House or whatever. And so it's been a very interesting debate. But just kind of connecting it to our Andrew Yang point about him being an economic progressive, I've been thinking a lot about this, and I don't really know where I'll fall on the political spectrum anymore. I really don't, because I've been very attracted to different political ideologies at different points in my life, and I don't know. Maybe me not knowing is actually the final solution of any thinking person, right? Like, political parties are kind of a made up concept. In fact, the founders, the first president of the United States, George Washington, in his farewell speech, he told the country to stay away from political parties. That was his his literal farewell address, and we didn't listen to him. And I think most Americans are actually registered independents, and I think that's kind of where I fall, because my politics are just so different. And to call yourself a conservative, like, what are you conserving? Right? And to call myself a progressive, well, most of the time I don't like where you guys are progressing to. No offense. You understand, right? So then where does that leave me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not a centrist. Like, centrists to me are like people who just refuse to take a side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not indecisive. I have thoughts and opinions. They just vary. And I'm someone who believes in my right to carry a gun, but also believes that we should probably be socializing medicine on the state level. What politician is for me?
That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no politician for me. And part of why I was so attracted to Andrew Yang is because his ideas were fresh. Fresh ideas, new ideas. UBI, interesting concept. I'm not even saying that the idea is feasible, but it's an interesting concept that hasn't been discussed by almost anyone. He was the only politician up there on stage talking about automation, even though that is damn near the issue that is right around the corner. He was the only one talking about it. Everybody else ignoring it. When he came out and said that he disagreed with Bernie Sanders about making college free, and he said, "Look, because he questions how useful college is going to be in the next 15, 20 years." That's an interesting point. Like, are we wasting money by making college free when there's serious questions regarding how much college is going to impact the lives of Americans moving forward? Like, these are all things that we would have never heard if not for a single person who isn't a politician, Andrew Yang. And so the fact that Andrew Yang is an outsider, I, as an independent, have very, very complex political attitudes on things, but in a system of this polarization, left, right, extremes, there is no politician for me. And the 70 to 80% of Americans who identify as independents. So we're all being ruled by these extremes who don't represent this big chunk of us who are complex.
Yes, I agree. I feel like I fall more with you as well. I don't really align with any one politician or type of policy. So this is why I don't really pay attention to that much politics. I mean, I feel like I had to the last 4 years, but before that, that's why I was kind of just like going like this,
Well, give me your most trying to find the right words. Give me your two political beliefs that kind of go opposite of each other. Like, for me, it is gun rights and like socialized medicine. It's like those two concepts.
Actually, I don't know. I think that I feel like probably socializing medicine as well. With I don't know what the second one is, though. I don't know what the other one is.
You don't have any like conservative thing that you like at all? Not on guns?
Oh, well, maybe. I mean, I believe in people's right to carry, but I also believe that stricter gun laws need to be in place. So I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess.
But see, we are the average American. Most people do not believe everything that the left checkoff list or everything on the right checkoff list. People are complex. When you talk to them as individuals, they are much more nuanced and complex in their political beliefs. But we don't have any politicians that are that way. And Joe Biden ain't it. Like, he is not someone who is politically complex. He is someone who just doesn't have any political ideology. Like, I have a political ideology. I believe in maximizing freedom on a localized level. Thus, why I'm a big states' rights guy, right? So I have a political system or like a political belief that's different than somebody who doesn't have any political belief like Joe Biden. He's kind of just, this guy. And this is going to hurt us in the future because if we don't have people in government who represent the complexities of its constituents, it's only a matter of time before the system falls apart.
Yeah.
Because then, like, what are we discussing? What are we voting for?
Yeah.
And, it's just, I don't know. This has been very frustrating to watch these talks play out because, like I said, I feel hopeless sometimes because it just seems like we're just hamsters on a wheel. Biden is already, he hasn't even taken office. He's already shown that, this guy's not going to do anything for 4 years. Nothing. Joe, can you say anything? I mean, you are the next president. Can you come out and say, hey, we need to do this. We need to do no, nothing. Nada.
Do you think Trump is going to get convicted after he leaves office? Or do you think he's going to come back in 2024 and try to ruin us again?
I think Trump's going to die between 2020 and 2024.
Oh, okay. Well, there's an answer.
I mean, he's old. Isn't he old? He's like
He is old. Isn't he 80? No. He's 70 something. 75? Yeah. 70.
Well, if he ran again in 2024, he would be as old as Joe Biden is today. So.
Okay. I mean,
Joe Biden is old.
He might not be dead. Yeah.
Now, Joe Biden should be dead though.
Don't
Shannon. He is old. Shannon. He's old.
I know he's old.
And he has old people anger now. Like, you didn't see those clips from him talking to the civil rights leaders, but he would just go on these like really aggressive rants. Like old people rants. When people get old, some people get really, really nice, and then some people get really, really bitter and mean. And he has both, where he has the nice guy Joe Biden, where he blinks a lot and he can't tell what day of the week it is. But then he has those parts where he gets really, really mean and bitter with people. And he was talking to them civil rights leaders, like screaming at him, saying like, no, I'm the first person that did this, that did that. I'm the guy. I was like, God damn, Joe. Woo, that white man coming out. It's coming out. But yeah, I don't know. Trump to me is somebody who I think is done. He is done. Trumpism will live. He has single-handedly saved the Republican Party while damning his own legacy. So I don't know how you square that away with each other, but yeah, I don't think he's going to run in 2024 because I don't think he's going to be around. I think Trump is going to die probably within like the next 2 years.
Okay. I mean, that's a fair assessment. It's possible. Like you said, he is old, but I do think he'll get convicted. So we'll see.
Yeah, people are hoping for that. I don't see it happening. I don't think Joe Biden wants it to happen because it's a dangerous precedent when you start prosecuting presidents, because damn near all of them have broken international laws. They've broken antitrust laws. They have been, president while forming secret programs like the NSA, right? So like, why? So then Republicans will have a decent argument about, okay, well, are you going to go ahead and go after Obama?
I mean, I see your point. I do.
So that's why I don't see Trump going
as long
to jail.
as he doesn't come back to haunt us in 2024, I'm good.
You say that now. What if you get somebody that is an actual fascist? like an actual somebody who's been watching Trump for 4 years. Super smart. He's super smart because Trump got himself into trouble a lot. So what if you had somebody who had Trump's politics but was very, very like politically savvy? So he knew what not to say. He knew he had much more impulse control, but he had all the politics.
You're a Bible person. Doesn't the Bible say that the end of the world is caused by someone in politics or something like that? I feel like somebody told me that once.
They lied to you. Whoever told you that.
Okay.
But it does speak about when the devil comes back, who he will be. You will not know who he is. He will.
Okay.
He sounds like a politician.
Okay.
No, yeah. The way they describe him, he's gonna come back as if he is the savior, but he's not. But many are going to believe that he is.
That makes perfect sense for the period of time that we're in right now, because Trump's out of office, but like people don't really like Joe Biden, but they feel like they had to vote for him because they want to get Trump out of office. So maybe the next person in 2024 who's going to try to run is going to present himself as like somebody that everyone loves, and then that'll be it. So let's just watch out for that.
No, we are in scary territory right now. Mm-hmm. People don't understand. Once again, I sound like a broken record. People don't understand how fragile the country is. Mm-hmm. The country is about, all intents and purposes, we are a glass house, a literal glass house, and there's a tornado that just went over a pile of pebbles. Right? Like, that's how fragile things are right now. And you have this guy who's going to be leading the country who is mentally weak, who is physically weak, who has a weak persona. There is nothing strong about Joe Biden. No one looks at Joe Biden and feels safe or feels like that's somebody I can follow or feels like that's a visionary. No one feels that way. Matter of fact, Joe Biden ran as the opposite of that on purpose. So it's not like he's going to get in there and suddenly become this great change maker. And so to your point, it leaves the country vulnerable to God knows what. God knows what's coming in 2024. I have no idea.
Staying.
No, yeah. I have no idea who that person's going to be. Here's the thing. It could be anybody, right? It could be I could easily see 2024, the Republicans regain the presidency off the backs of a 39 to early 40-year-old attractive white woman.
Okay. That's fair. That's believable.
You get all of the people that you lost from Trump, all the suburban moms and stuff to come back to support her. She runs on the populist message that Trump ran on. So she retains a lot of the men. Black men are the new swing vote. They don't really like Democrats that much. And so you can definitely peel off a good 15-20% of those people. The Latin population is the second largest and fastest growing population in America. They don't love Democrats that much. So you can give 30 to 40% of those people as well. I can easily see that being that should be the right wing playbook for 2024. Now, will they do it? Who knows? But if they want to win, they should look for young, attractive. Shannon, she doesn't even need to have political experience. If she's young, attractive, and nice.
Is that going to be Satan? Because now I'm just realizing what you're saying. Yeah, I'm just like, wait, is that who you're presenting as Satan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. She'll be
the one that is the cover for the party doing all this wild stuff. And also on the left, I can see, I've been saying for a while, I think AOC is going to be a star, right? But I can see on the left some, left-wing socialists.
But it's very rare that another Democrat runs against a Democrat in a re-election year, isn't it?
It's rare, but it's not going to be rare this time because no one likes Joe Biden and no one likes Kamala Harris. I'm sorry.
Okay.
She is not going to run unchallenged in 2024. if she runs, a progressive is going to run against her. So
Okay. Yes, I can see that happening. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's probably going to be one of those up and coming ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old AOC is going to be in 4 years. So I don't know if she'll meet the age requirement because you get to be 35, I think, right?
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah. So if she's 31, then she's going to run in 4 years. I don't think she is 31 though.
Yeah, she's 31.
She might do it.
Wait.
She might run. She's young.
She'll be 35.
Yeah. So she's young. She's sexy. She's fiery. She has like the charisma. She has the politics of the up and coming young generation. And she's, I think, could build a very good team. And so the areas where she lacks, I think she'll do a pretty good job in picking people to help her, with certain spots. She has now she can rule the country though, because I think many of her ideas are actually bad for the country. But so she's another quote unquote devil that could get in there and tear things up. I think either way, 2024, we're going to have the first female president. It just depends on which party she comes from and who's going to be. AOC, Kamala Harris, or the unknown right-wing white woman that I just made up.
Satan. Okay, great.
Yeah, pretty much. So anything else you have to say, Shannon?
I did have something to say. What was I going to say? Oh, no. This is completely unnews related, though.
What happened?
Completely unnews related. Nothing. I'm just... Where are all my packages? This is a gripe that I have. I meant to bring this up in the beginning after we started talking about news, but like, this
we
is
mean like Amazon?
All my packages from all of everywhere that I ordered from. The Christmas season. I know that like the postal service is overwhelmed because it's a holiday and we're in a pandemic, and like there's a huge volume of packages. But like, I feel like all my packages are late or unknown their location.
Are you paying? Are you paying for them to be shipped faster?
I paid for one package to be shipped faster, and now it's not coming for the day that I wanted to buy. So it's like, do I get my money back? I mean, it's $5. I don't know if I should make a big deal about it.
No, you got to. It's the principle. I will say this though, with the packages, with the package stuff. Whenever there's a storm, like there was. Speaking of things that I meant to bring up, that you meant to bring up earlier. How is it possible that we've been able to create a vaccine in months, literal months, for the first time ever? We have all this technology. I'm able to do a show with Shannon, 2 separate locations, comes out pretty good. Yet we have not advanced in our fighting natural disaster department.
Oh, the roads are horrible. Oh my God, it's so bad. I don't know.
We don't have any technology for dealing with snow.
I mean, we do technically, but it's not great. Not great.
Salt is not a good. Salt is not technology.
But like, what would you suggest? Like a de-icer? That would be good. That's a good idea.
De-icer, a flamethrower. No, I'm serious. Wait. And I'm sure there's probably some super smart person who will come in and slap down all of my ideas. But why couldn't you just, for example, New York City, right? We have drainage everywhere. So why couldn't somebody come out with a flamethrower, just shoot it? No, I'm serious. Shoot it at the snow, turn the snow into water, and let the water, go into the drains.
I feel like that's dangerous, but okay.
What's the danger?
A civilian getting stuck in your flamethrower crossfire by accident. I don't know.
I don't know. Nah, can't be. A flamethrower is more controlled than that. You can see who's in front of you. You're shooting at the ground. And here's the thing.
But you know how long that's gonna take? You know how many flamethrowers have to be going off at one time? That's just a lot of fire coming from a lot of different places.
All right, so it's economically infeasible. Fair enough. Next possible solution. And this should be done almost everywhere. The same way we create cities with drainage, we should put together a big budget, and within the next 20 to 30 years, we replace parts of the street with like heating elements.
That's
so that when it snows like this, you heat the streets.
That's a good idea.
Why is that undoable? I don't understand why that's not a thing. Yeah, it just seems strange to me that we haven't advanced at all in the way we fight snow. Like the only thing we can do is the same things we've been doing since the beginning of time: shovel and throw salt on it. It doesn't help anything. All you do is make it difficult for the person who woke up late to get out of their car, because all the snow is from the street up to the sidewalks. So it's like everyone is just like passing the buck on who has it more difficult for the next couple of days until the sun comes out and can melt it off. It's not a real solution.
No.
I thought about that. I thought about a vacuum. Hear me out here. So hold on. Hear me out here. A vacuum where you suck in the snow.
Okay.
On one end, it gets heated in the thing on your back, and it is released back into the street. Heated water.
Interesting. But then you have to have drainage. You have to have significantly more drainage so that if it's cold, it doesn't turn into ice when you release it back into the street.
We have the drainage though, right?
Yeah, but do we have enough drainage?
You say that? So you're saying that the drainage is not sufficient enough where on a really cold day the water makes it to the drain. It might freeze. Almost.
Yeah, it'll freeze.
Oh, you're right. That's a bad idea. All right, next idea. I'm just saying, I don't understand why people smarter than me aren't working on this, because it's gonna snow. We're gonna have the exact same problem next year.
Well, actually, I don't know, because like did it even snow last year?
Yeah, for like a week.
Okay, because I don't remember it snowing at all. So I feel like this is the first year in a couple years, well, maybe like a year or so, that we've had like a real snowstorm.
So you're saying that you're saying global warming is solving this problem for us?
I mean, I don't think global warming is solving our problem. I think it's like giving us a temporary like a temporary solution, but ultimately will lead to our demise.
So I would agree with you that seasons are over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like there are seasons anymore. In fact, I think there's like 1 year where it is mainly warm and hot, and then like 3 weeks where it's really cold now. But I don't feel like the usual seasons. To your point, before this storm, I mean, it didn't feel like December at all.
No, it didn't. It was warm. It was uncharacteristically warm, and I was very upset.
It didn't feel like December. And I think it's going back, like when I check my phone, I think next week is supposed to be like, it's going back up to like 50 or 60 degrees. So
no, it's not. What? No, it's not.
Hold on. Shannon thinks I'm a liar.
He's a liar. It's going to be, okay. Oh, yes. There's going to be, on Christmas Day, actually, it's going to be 54 degrees.
Yes.
So yeah, exactly. That's so upsetting. I don't want it to be warm on Christmas.
That's what's going to be. It's going to be 50.
It's supposed to be cold and snowy on Christmas.
But here's the thing. The day after, it's going to be 43 degrees.
That's oh my God, that's ridiculous.
With a 50% chance of snowing.
Why can't it snow on Christmas?
And we destroyed the planet. All right. I want to thank you all for listening to another episode of the Black Column Podcast. Shannon will be picking the topic for this upcoming Monday.
Oh, shoot. It's my turn?
I did Mufasa. Hello.
Oh, wait. Christmas is on Friday. Yay. Never mind. It's going to snow on Christmas.
Oh, you're right. You get your wish, Shannon. It's going to snow on Christmas. And I get my wish.
It's going to be cold. Thank you.
I get my wish because the day before I have an eye doctor appointment. So I'm glad it'll be 50 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I travel to get my eyes examined so they can tell me how bad it's gotten since they last saw me. All right. I forgot where I was at, Shannon.
Oh, by the way, we're, people listen. You don't know where people are that listen to us, Jabia. We're in New York. So we're talking about New York weather.
Oh, this is very selfish of us. You're right. Yeah. It's very selfish. And so, yeah, it might be horrible where you're at. I'm sorry. It could be freezing on Christmas.
New York City weather specifically, not like, because I know upstate is an entirely different thing in terms of climate and weather.
Yeah, they're by the water. It's a totally different environment. Yeah. We were talking about the New York City weather. But yeah, so Shannon is picking a topic for Monday. I'm very excited to see what she comes up with. I'm sure it'll be Christmas related.
It will be Christmas related because it is Christmas week. Yes.
Okay. Christmas week. Yes. So look forward to that. We will see you guys on Monday. Any last words, Shannon?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, so thank you once again. Until next time, deuces.
Bye.